Hey, Viking fans, NFL Network, Maurice Jones-Drew, MJD himself, says maybe the cupboards are bare for the Minnesota Vikings now that they lost Dalvin Cook. Let's talk about that next in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Viking fans, this is Skull World brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Now, gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. Let's go. Let's talk about the running backs of the Minnesota Vikings. But before we do, help me out. 50 is the magic number. Hit like, give me to 50 likes. Difference between I had a 2,000 view video that had 50 likes. My other video, 400, only had 20. So that's the big difference. That's what really pushes over the edge. Every time I've gotten 50 likes or more, the video did really good. And I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thank you for supporting me. Let's get to 2,000 before Skullfest, September 9th. We almost got a place locked down. Make sure you guys show up. All the YouTubers that you're familiar with, if you watch my channel, are gonna be there. Let's go. Let's go. Now, the Minnesota Vikings not don't get much love, and it seems like NFL Network thinks the Vikings have lost more than they added. They lost more than they added. Now, keep in mind, there's the same people that said we were, a lot of the same people said we were pretenders and we really need to get rid of our aging players. And then we get rid of our aging players and add younger players. And now we've lost all our good players. No, that is crazy how you can flip the script like that, change the goalpost, whatever. What they're not seeing in the running back situation is the talent we have. I am not going to talk about one of the players today. That's Kenny Nwangu. I think he's strictly a kick returner for us and is okay as a last, resort running back for us. But I'm not going to. I'm not excited about Kenny Nwangu playing running back. He did surprise me a little bit. He can catch a ball. He does have decent hands. But from what I hear from people in commentary, he can't block. Never been asked to block. So I don't see him being an all-around back. Now, the other three guys that I'm going to talk about, I feel like can be an all-around back. Let's start talking about Alexander Mattison. We've had his father on here a couple of times. This is a great family. This is a great young man. He entered the league at 21. He's now just turned 25, so he can rent a car by himself. But let's talk about it. I'm pulling this up because this is from the video, and this is from the video MJD talking about how the Vikings potentially are the cupboard's bare at running back. Now, he doesn't mind Alexander Mattison. This is the stat they led with. Minimum of 5 games. In the last 10 seasons, he's third in all-time rushing yards per game. Or, rushing yards per game, all-time, whatever. Rushing yards per game. Last 10 seasons. Christian McCaffrey, 118.6. This is as a starter. Now, it's minimum 5 games. Le'Veon Bell, 116.7. Alexander Mattison, 115.5. Derrick Henry, 111.7. Jamal Charles, 109.9. So as a starter, he averages 115.5 per game. That's pretty good. With a sample size of 6, it's not a whole lot, right? But it's 6. It's not 2. It's not an accident. It's 6 games, and they're not all in the same season. Now we're going to talk. This is very favorable to us. And I've talked to Alexander Mattison's dad. When you're using the goal line in your short yard situations, you're often not going to break a big run. So he hasn't had the big runs the last 2 years and last year was probably the least he's ever been used because Guess what? Dalvin Cook decided to stay healthy for 17 games, which helped him out. Is helping him out if he's going to find a new team. Now, I believe that Dalvin Cook's going to make us or try to make us regret it. That we got rid of him. I think he still had a lot of life left in him. But if that money gets used properly to help the defense, then all things considered, it's going to be the right move. Why? Because we got 3 running backs that I had no problem starting for us. Uh, one maybe needs some time and we need to get a good look at it. But the first guy, Alexander Mattison, this is what he was thought of coming out of college. All right. I'm going to talk about it. He left as a junior, 5'11 height, 221 pounds, arm length 31, 9 and 1/8. This is a solid physical being. He carries some people with him. He's not the big bruiser, but he's all around, can do it all back. Now what scared me coming out of college is the combine results of 4.67 seconds. He had a really bad time in the 40. So when we drafted him as high as we did, I want to say 3rd round, I wasn't very positive about the pick. But then we got to see him play. I was feeling all right. We needed a backup running back. It turned out to be a pretty good move, and it worked out, right? And now he's our starter, and he's only 25 years old. 10-yard splits, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty decent. 1.51, anything below 1.5 is really good. But 1.51 is okay. And at the running back position, pretty normal. Vertical jump 35, very good. And broad jump 10.7, pretty good. 3-cone drill, a little on the slow side. 20-yard shuttle. I really don't know much about the 20-yard shuttle, but bench press 22 reps, really good. Okay, so he's strong, big and strong guy. His dad was a very, very good track star. Very good. He is not as fast as his dad, but he's bigger and stronger, and he's a really good running back. When you're pro tip, you want him. If he was faster, he'd be elite. That is my point. I feel like he would be elite if he was faster, but he's not. So I feel like he is a can carry the load running back. I think he gets stronger the more carries he gets, and his dad 100% agrees with that. He went to Boise State because he was going to get to carry the ball, and that he did. Here's his bio. Madison became the latest running back to excel at Boise, earning first team All Mountain West Conference accolades in 2018. He finished in the top 10 nationally in rushes of 302, rushing yards 1,415, and rushing touchdowns 17. All triple tens, all top 10 as a junior for the Broncos. In NWC championship game lost to Fresno State, he carried the ball 40 times for 200 yards and a score. League coaches awarded him honorable mention notice in 2017 as he recovered 1,086 yards and scored a dozen times in 212 carries in 14 games. So he had 2 pretty good years. I'll bring up the stats here in a second. His overview, productive, willful runner whose combination of functional patience and aggressive urgency helped him find his niche as a every down workhorse. This is him. He's an every down workhorse that he's got now the experience behind him and no mileage. That's what I like about him. While he has the ability to create yards for himself with adequate elusiveness and power, he's not a slasher or banger by NFL standards, and he lacks burst to produce chunk plays on a regular basis. Madison is a jack of all trades, backup with the ability to step into a heavy-duty role if called upon. His talent as a pass catcher could move him into the RB food chain. 100% agree with this. I have said this. He is a better receiving running back than Dalvin Cook. He has better body control trying to catch passes. You don't see him falling on his butt and a ball's coming straight for him. This is not a huge knock on Dalvin Cook, but it's noticeable. Alexander Mattison is a better receiving running back. He's not as quick. He's not as elusive as Dalvin Cook, but you got to catch it first. So I give the edge to him there, and that's why I feel really good about him being an every down back. His strengths, determined runner who can carry lively legs deep into games. Again, stronger the more the game goes on, and we haven't got to see that yet, except in 6 games. And all he did is get third in the last 10 years for average yards per game. Average 30 carries per game over final 5 2018 and thrived. Runs with above average balance, decisive running style, leaped over open field tacklers multiple times, seen that. Finds additional power as finisher near the goal line. Love it. You saw it, and they didn't use him enough early on, and that would have made us better. Probes with good downhill urgency and finds the crease. Outstanding hands out of backfield, adjusted throws outside frame, and has soft hands to absorb fastballs. Hits it upfield quickly after catch. Chip blocks, have some bite. So a lot of good things of him being an all-around, even in third down, running back. Weaknesses: place a little bit of hip tightness, multi-stepper to make lateral getaways, prolonged open field cuts, does not appear to have a breakaway gear. Had just 9 carries of 15 plus yards in 2018. Runs brave and takes too many direct hits. Not enough juice to turn play side corners on stretch plays. Could use quicker recognition of pass protection duties. Hands technique needs improvement as a blocker. Sources tell us, it says, I think the best comparison is Alex Collins, which he's coming out of Arkansas. He wasn't explosive, but just got it done. That's how Mattison is. Okay, so they weren't really high on him. They gave him a projected 4th round grade, but honestly, as a running back, that's a starter in the NFL. Okay, this guy is going to carry the load for us. Now, looking at his stats, you look early on in his career where we had to rely on him because of injury to Dalvin Cook. We're talking 4.6 and 4.5 yards per carry. That's as good as Dalvin Cook was. All right. Not used a lot in TD situations. Receiving, not used a lot. That is where he's going to make it better for the Vikings. He's going to be asked on third down to be in the game and catch passes. He was utilized at Boise State. I'll look at some stats here. Boise State, he had a game or a season where receiving 36 catches in 2017, 23 in 2018, but 36 not bad. Not bad. Now, obviously, his sophomore and junior year. Just think if he had a senior year, what he would have did then. But very productive, very productive. 5.1, 4.9, 5.1, 4.7, 4.9 career in college. You want to see more college, but hey, he is not that type of back. He's an everyday running back, every down running back. He's going to carry the workload. He's going to be our banger late in games too. Maybe you spell him and you say, hey, let's ride him in the 4th quarter. I'm liking it. And he's healthy. We haven't had that too much with Dalvin. And he was injured last year. He was just playing through it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, we all know we like Alexander Mattison as a person, as a player. He's finally getting his shot. We're proud of him. We're happy for him. But is he our future? We can get out of Alexander Mattison fairly quickly because his contract is not a big one. It is not a big one. We could even dump him next year. Not that I want to, but if he for some reason gets replaced by Ty Chandler or Dwayne McBride or the other 2 guys I'm going to talk about. Remember, I'm not talking about Kenny Nwangu. That's our future, I think. I think those guys are our future. Ty Chandler right now. Nashville, Tennessee. Didn't realize that. Senior, 5'11", 204 pounds, 32 and an eighth, 9-inch hands. This was him coming out of college. His combine. This is what I like. Look at this 10-yard split. He was actually slower out of the crouch. Yeah, I guess crouch or whatever. He was slow off the start, but it ran a 4.38. He's slower than Alexander Mattison off the start, but look at that 4.38 speed compared to 4.67 at the combine. Vertical jump 31 and 10 and 1. Not as explosive, right? not as explosive as, but he's got that straight line, holy crap speed. Um, Now he does have good vision. If you go watch the videos of him at North Carolina, he had good vision. All right. Running back in college, Tennessee, 3 years. He wasn't used as a every down back. When he transferred to Carolina, he was the man. He's known as a pass catching running back, but had over 1,000 yards and looked good doing it. I like him, man. For That's what we need. This is a change of pace guy right here. We got the banger, the workhorse, and then we got lightning. That's what I'm talking about. Player bio. Ty Chandler led Tennessee rushing both a sophomore and junior. That even though he wasn't they had more than one running back, but he was the number one, in yards. So that's good. Top 100 overall recruit nationally in Division 2A, 2AA, Mr. Football in Tennessee as a senior at Montgomery Bell Academy. Though he was slowed at the end of 2019 by an ankle injury, Chandler still started 9 of 13 games played, 135 for 655. Didn't know that. So that leads to him that explains why his stats were down at Tennessee. 3 TDs rushing. Uh he caught a little bit. He was Tennessee's offensive player of the year in 2018, accumulating 630 yards and 4 scores on 115 totes, 5.5 per, while also catching 3 touchdowns, 19 for 183. Chandler tied for the team lead with 4 rushing touchdowns in 2020, 100 for 456, and caught 16 passes for 111 yards. He had an impact on offense, especially as a true freshman, as well as even starting once in 12 appearances, 71 for 305 yards, 2 TD rushing. All right. So here, let's talk about the Tar Heels. Chandler moved on to North Carolina for 2021 season, helping make up for a loss of Michael Carter and Javonte Williams. He garnered second team All ACC accolades by leading the Tar Heels with 1,092 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns, 182 carries, 6 per, and catching 15 passes for 216 yards for 14.4 yards per carry or per catch. 14.4 yards per catch and a score in 13 starts. Now, he's known as a receiving running back, but he didn't have a lot of receiving. But there's nothing I don't like about him, really. Honestly, there's nothing I don't like about this guy. If I would add one more thing, would be like quick, quick cuts, like, make people miss a little more. That would probably be the only downside I saw to his college game. But he's caught some passes, some good catches, things like that. I feel like him and Alexander Madison are going to be pretty comparable catching passes, and I really like Alexander Madison's receiving skills. Overview: his impressive 2021 should pump some life into Chandler's draft stock. We picked him 5th round, I think. And they said round 5 or 6, so he was right there. After sharing carries at Tennessee, Chandler took a bigger bite out of the pie at North Carolina, seeing spikes in yards per carry, and touchdown production. He's a smooth strider who can become a little disjointed when processing and attacking the blocking scheme. Chandler needs to turn up the play speed in early stages to attack fleeting run lanes. He will see in the pros. In the deep running back draft, Chandler's ability to catch passes and return kicks should help improve chances of being selected on day 3. Now, I understand he was back there returning kicks along with Ty Chandler, or along with Kenny Nwangu, and some OTAs. So maybe this is an opportunity to make his money. His strengths: posted breakout season a single year at North Carolina, follows blocks and uses them as a shield. Patient, allowing blockers to do their thing. I agree with these. The overview discredits it, but honestly, these are the things I've seen in him. Stays low and coiled to absorb and manage run contact. I don't think he runs like completely upright, but he's got a long stride. Build up speed once he's in the open field. Pass catching threat with soft, sure hands. Attacks linebackers down the seam. Catches through heavy collisions. Agreed. He's had some of those. Background as a kick returner. That's good. We need someone in case Kenny Nwangu does not make the team. Weaknesses: takes time to process the lane and hit the gas. Leggy strides, slow quickness out of downhill cuts. Needs to get pads squared early in the run, lacks suddenness getting into out of cuts. Average run finisher, play pace needs to quicken through the line, average elusiveness in space. But average elusiveness with the if he's running by people, he can break tackles. He can break arm tackles that way. The elusiveness is the only thing I would say, hey, give him, that would make him perfect for me. But and how big is he? He's still pretty 204 pounds. Now, if he was like 210, 215 with elusiveness, I would be like giving him a 99 Madden rating. That's how much I like Ty Chandler. Now, this is his college stats. So he played 5 years. It's crazy. COVID. But look at that look at that North Carolina year. 6-yard average, 13 TDs. I mean, his whole average on receiving is 9 yards per catch as a running back. You average out all his rushing is 5.2, but I'm gonna put up more weight on that North Carolina year. A lot of weight on that. Crazy. Now, this is a very productive college career. He didn't get his exclusive number one running back until he got to transfer to North Carolina. And he got drafted because he played that well. He looked that good that we drafted him in the 5th round. I liked him. I really liked him. He was my second best draft pick for value, I thought, outside of Jalen Naylor in 2021. Or, yeah, 2022. Sorry. I'm excited to have this guy. Let's talk about Dwayne McBride. This is the unknown right now. What do we got with Dwayne McBride? I'm going to go with NFL Draft Buzz because the NFL overview did not have 40 time on him. So right now, if you look, let's look at him. There you go. Good looking dude. Good looking dude. All right. 5'10", 209 pounds. He's not a bowling ball, but he's closer to it than the other two guys. Junior, Stark, Florida. Gave him a pretty high player rating. Position, they ranked him the 6th best running back out of the draft, and we picked him in the 7th round. 4.52 40 time. He's not slow. People tried to tell me that he is not fast. He is fine. At 4.52 running back is absolutely fine. I do not know why the NFL did not have it. I guess he didn't run it at the combine, but NFL Draft Buzz sometimes has these stats and things that the NFL combine they don't have it, so NFL Network doesn't provide it unless they did it at the combine. Last update, so 4.52, that's 64 percentile. It's above average for running back. Height, 36 percentile. I don't think that matters as a running back as much. 5'10" is fine. Weight 209. That's physically strong. 9.5-inch hands. This is what I'm talking about. He is the biggest hands out of the 3 running backs I talked about, and he just never caught passes in college. But I think he can. I seen some of the catches he's made, and he looked fine doing it. So I'm not worried. It's just UAB did not throw it to the running backs. Arms 30 and 5/8, span 73 and an eighth, 40 time, bench press 20. Not bad. Not Alexander Mattison, but not bad. So, man, his overall rating, give him receiving hands of 46, pass blocking, run blocking. Not asked to do it a whole lot. That is why I'm not super excited about him, because he just didn't do it in college, and neither did Kenny Nwangu. But I warmed up to him. I thought he improved, showed that he could catch passes. Now, that's what I got to see with Dwayne McBride. But what I love most about him is he's wanting to come in and wreck people. He wants to come in and wreck people, and I think that's what I want to see. I think that's what we could see from him. He's going to be hard to bring down. If we don't have, late in the 4th quarter, we do not have Alexander Mattison, we got this guy. I'm happy to have this guy. If we're coming back from behind, I'm happy we got Ty Chandler in there catching passes and breaking long runs and that elite speed. I feel like we got a jackknife of freaking running backs that we could just pop out the corkscrew and then go. Draft profile: Dwayne McBride from Vanguard High School was rated 3-star recruit by ESPN and handed a 3-star grade by 247 Sports. Following high school, 3-star recruit, went to UAB. That he could go to a Power Five if he wanted. He didn't. I don't know why. He went to UAB. In 2020, as a freshman, McBride saw action in 6 games from the Blazers as he ran for a solid 439s and 47 attempts. So I'm not going to read this because I'm just going to show the stats. But here's some awards: Walter Camp, second team All American. 2022, the Sporting News second team All American. Pro Football Focus second team All American. 2022 Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, this is All American, like of all college. So, Conference USA Offensive Player of the Year. 2021 Doak Walker Award preseason watch list, and second team All Conference USA. So he was well thought of. He wasn't just thought of as a subdivision team. They're thinking of him as the best that's out there. Is UAB a subdivision? I don't know. Now that I think of it, I'm not the college guy. Sorry, ECG. I'm not the college guy. So, scout reporting strengths: McBride was, but the competition was not huge. Let's just put it that way. McBride, with a prototypical size, has been super productive as a college player, where he has combined for more than 3,000 yards over the past 2 years. He shows good balance between the tackles, running behind his pads, and packing the power to move a pile. Shows good vision and can exploit cutback lanes. Agreed. He looks good, man. He looks good as a running back. You'll like him. And there has been times where he broke away from people and he left them in the dust, and he was gaining length on them. Made Bruce Feldman's Freaks list, ranked 93. He wrote McBride, who ran for 1,371 yards and 13 touchdowns, while averaging 6.72 yards per carry, and led the nation with an average of 4.72 yards after contact. Led the nation, clean 345 pounds and bench presses 385 and squatted 550. In addition, he ran the 40 in the low 4.5s. Dude, Quasey, good job, man. Way to pull the trigger. Wasn't a position in need. Way to pull the trigger. He's patient, letting blocks develop, and then accelerating. He runs with a good forward lean and consistently falls forward. He shows exceptional toughness and good balance running between the tackles, and McBride is excellent with it came to finishing runs. He's classic downhill rusher who is a load to bring down with his top speed. When he hits top speed, McBride runs with violence. He's capable of thrashing through tacklers, and he has a natural balance to withstand contact. Weaknesses: experience limited him running out of the shotgun and pistol formations, has no experience in traditional pro offense, loses momentum when McBride gears down to change direction, and takes him a few steps to accelerate back to full speed of scrimmage. Really unpolished as a receiver, primarily used as a runner. He has made ridiculous low 2 catches during 11 games in 2022. Will probably need to leave the field in passing downs. Total underused as a blocker, and his skills are very raw. Will need to be pretty much developed from scratch in this area. Has had issues with ball security, leading to him being a target for ball punches. Yeah, they have a complaint about his, fumbling. His speed, while good, isn't elite and won't run away from defenders in space. Now, scouting report summary: Dwayne McBride is a difficult prospect to evaluate. He's an outstanding traditional power back. Has put up incredible numbers at college level and isn't afraid to put his head down and drive through tackles and display enough speed and quickness to be a serious threat to the perimeter. McBride, however, is very much a one-trick pony and has no experience as a blocker or a receiver. It really limits his utility as a standard pro offense. Mike McBride has potential as a pro player, but his success will be very much determined by the scheme he ends up playing in. If he is given a chance to be featured back in the zone scheme, he could be a star. If not, he could fail to find the field lost in a rotation looking for him to select in the middle round 2023 NFL draft. He's expected to be 4th rounder. He went in the 7th. So congrats to you, man, Quasey, for drafting this guy. Let's look at his stats really quick. Look at this. Look at that. 2022, 1593, 16 TDs, 68 long, 70.2 average, 7.3 as a career. He had 9.3 as freshman year, 6.9 as sophomore, 7.2 as junior. Receiving stats, not a lot, right? 4 catches. But hey, that could happen. He'll get practice. He doesn't need to play this year, but if he did, I am not too worried. But I like our 3 running backs. I like our 4th one. We got 4 deep. I didn't talk about Kenny Nwangu. He's a speedster. He's not elusive. He doesn't move the pocket, and he doesn't have a whole lot of experience in the passing game. He's just really fast, and that's why he's our kick returner. But moving forward, guys, I disagree with NFL Network and saying that, hey, the coverage, even contemplating the coverage are bare for the Minnesota Vikings at running back. I think it's one of our deepest positions, and honestly, I feel it's a little deeper than even our receiving core. Although we are, I know that's a hot take, but Justin Jefferson is by far the best player on our team, and then after that, it's crazy. But if you think about it, who's number 2? Who's number 2? I feel that KJ Osborne is not an elite number 2 running receiver, and Jordan Addison is hurt and not practice, and I'm a big fan of Jalen Naylor, but I feel more comfortable that out of the 3 guys we got here, 4 if you count Kenny Nwangu, we got number 1 running backs on this team. I think all 3 of those guys can be a number 1 running back in this league. You do not say that about the receivers, that all of them are going to be a number 1 or number 2 receiver. So I feel like the running back group is one of our deepest positions. I think receivers deep, but I think the running back is just deeper. Again, not as top heavy as like Justin Jefferson. He makes up for a lot of problems. But hey, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening. Make sure you hit like before you leave. Give me the 50 likes. I appreciate it. Mark the calendar, September 9th for Skullfest. Let's go. Let's go. Cue the music.